Oh my God, he was so funny.
The like 3 jokes he makes in this dance are so good.
I was dying the first time he goes too soon. Dying. I was so confused. And I just look back and I hear everyone laughing and I'm like, the fuck is going on? I'm dying. And then the second time he does it, I just lose it laughing. Like you see me stop dancing and just lose it.
It was like a second of processing.
Like, what? I just couldn't believe that he did the same joke again. I was like, are you kidding me? This part bugs me because, again, my foot's too far. I thought he was going to, I made a decision too soon with my foot placement. He kept me closer than where I put my feet for. They should have been way closer. I made that decision to commit to my foot placement too soon.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously I'm still within the realm of following. It doesn't create any problems. Just visually, you can tell I made a decision a split second before I knew exactly how far he was going to be letting me out.
Yeah. And it kind of looks like once he realizes where you're at with your weight, he kind of gives you a little bit more room to move yourself out of it.
He did, yeah. He brought me right back instead of keeping me over my feet, which he might have done something different.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, oh, she's too far. Let's use the momentum of that to just come straight back. So he reacts to my little blip. So the other really hard thing with those kinds of things when you are making those split second decisions, and sometimes they're not an accurate interpretation, or you make a decision too early, so you're in the wrong space for something, you still just have to stay.
Yeah.
Even if it's the wrong decision, it's where I'm at.
Yeah.
So here, and there's a couple other times later in this dance, and then there's those couple times in the first dance where I made the wrong decision. I hadn't gone far enough into my space. I hadn't, or whatever it is. I just, at least at this point, even if I make a mistake, I'll have the presence of mind to just stay.
Right.
So the information doesn't keep changing, so that he can then make an appropriate reaction. If I try to scramble and fix it, then he can't be fixing, and I have to trust them that they're going to fix it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really important distinction, because I know one of the things that can be frustrating as a leader is when the follow just does all of the correcting, and then I don't have, it's I have to wait until the follow finishes that run-on sentence before I can be a partner again.
Yeah, for sure. As soon as I just have to stop and commit, even if it's the wrong thing that I didn't want to commit to. This is where I live now. Deal.
Yeah.
And you never know what the leader can turn that into.
Yeah.
Because sometimes really incredible things can come from a slightly awkward, unconventional position and connection.
Yeah. So I've worked with Melissa for a long time now, and one of her things is that she says you have to move through those awkward moments. Right. So not just avoiding them or getting out of them, but just kind of following through.
Yeah. Yeah, we've seen me move through many of them already in these days. Great leg. Yes, bitch. Stupid. I think this is where the too soon. You can see his little grin. He was like, yes, I get to do the thing. Yes. Oh my God. Yep.
That's coming.
And I'm still on that foot. What is happening?
One thing I really love about that is that you have so much control that he can just release you and you're fine.
Core strength.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will always have my own weight over my foot. I can give myself that much. Yeah. You can just put me somewhere. I will still be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's also the way you're using contra body to counterbalance yourself, because you're your shoulders are offset from your hips, and that's helping you balance yourself.
I did actually like finish my weight okay in that place. He moved into my space once I went all the way, stopped, and then without giving me a lead to move, he then moved into my space. And that's why, Jinxie, why are you barking? She's barking at her reflection in the windows, guys. Ever. So smart. I love you can see me like, what? So funny. And in the video you can hear people like cackling.
Yeah.
Yep.
So funny. Oh my gosh. I loved it. It was a very humanizing moment too, whenever somebody does something like that that's musical and silly, but still
I love this pose that you hit right here.
Yeah, it's really nice lines.
So gorgeous.
yeah, the only problem though, I didn't go all the way back.
True. Yeah, your right heel is off the floor.
Well, like being up in like half that one heel. But like having the other heel up is fine, but it's the fact that I didn't go all the way back in my slot. And then you see him adapt. He's going to be like, and then once I land there, I'm like, okay, I can't move anymore because I already made a decision.
Yeah.
And then you see him kind of go, crap, she's not all the way where I thought she was going to be. And then he fixes it.
Yeah, he's keeping the connection point really close to him.
Yeah.
So you still feel tension.
Right. And then like we're kind of, okay, yeah, we're hanging. Once we landed there, we adapted. He adapted in the frame to keep us in connection. And then we were able to like, because in the music, what does it go? We were just hanging. So then we actually like turn it into a musical thing together where you both are kind of like hanging. But it's a reactionary, it wasn't on purpose, it's reaction.
Yeah.
And now the two of us are on the same team again. Okay, we have a connection again. We understand that I fucked up, but that's fine.
I want to point out the detail that what allows him to not reel out the rope and like let you fall backwards is the fact that he posts shaped into his own arm. So he's like rotated to the left into his left arm. And that's how he's creating the post for you. And if you were to keep going, he would then reel that towards you, reel his left side towards you. But because you don't, he just stays in that shape to maintain that connection for you.
Go back when we're still enclosed in that little whip. You can see his arm behind him, and he just allows it to.
Remember, it says he's basically giving options.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah, he's letting me because he knows that I'm gonna do something. He doesn't know what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
He gave himself options to react. So he just keeps that frame there. His body's rotating. His left arm just stays.
Yeah. He's pre-adjusting.
Really.
You can see how much he's favoring that towards himself.
Yeah, he just leaves it. And what's cool is it's also like really close so that physically it's going to feel connected to his hip, which is then can feel more connected to where my feet are. So that then I'm at full extension pretty much, well, not full, but like far more extended obviously than he is. So that he can feel and stop the extension of his arm as I hit that position. So he makes it feel connection-wise like I went all the way back. Yeah. Even though I didn't. Because I got sidetracked by musicality. Of my life. Yeah. Whoops. But that's fine.
Kind of touches upon what we talked about last week, which was like fixed versus variable frames, and why it's a really good idea to have that variable frame as a tool in your toolbox because of just little things like that, you know.
It has to be flexible. I'm a brainy school. Yeah. It has to be flexible and adaptive, and he's super adaptive to me, and like mine's super adaptive to him. Like has to be reactive. I love that moment where he like flips me over.
Yeah. Really, really nice lines.
I love just the way he just flips me and I just go bam.
Uh-huh.
It's one of like the 3 moments in this whole spotlight where I'm like, yeah, right. God. And I still had a lot of my own weight because of that foot.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I love how you landed it in a position where you could react to wherever you were landing.
Yep. Yeah. So like I still have a ton of my weight there.
In that back leg.
Yep. And then he can still he has the control or the option to rotate it. If I gave him a whole bunch of my weight, I would have been too heavy into the floor and he couldn't have then rotated out of it.
Right.
So that was really cool reactively for him with playing with where my weight was to then be able to rotate me.
Yeah.
Good on you, Kyle.
I think one thing to note, about that was that the way that you come out of that little flip is that weight is coming down into the leg by bending it, and then you are counterbalancing yourself by putting the other leg out.
Yep.
And that's how you're keeping that wide base.
For sure. And I'm up on the ball of that foot. So
yeah.
If my heel had driven down, I would have been stuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it probably would have brought your weight back.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because in a really deeply bent knee, if your heel's down, that shifts your weight back.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, I would have
just for us hypermobile folks.
I would have just landed on his knee and then he couldn't have moved at all.
Yeah.
But instead he was like, oh crap, she's really stable there. So then he just moves me. And then I'm really proud of how I came out. So if you let it play. Really proud of how I came out of this.
Yeah.
So if you stop it there, I have filled all the space possible. I've actually gone to that outer rim with my hip and my rib cage and reconnected. Instead of coming up over my own axis, I counterbalanced with him. So we hit the pocket with each other again, even in that weird place. And then that's why we were connected and I was able to move it.
Yeah.
So I actually correctly filled space for once in this dance. Yes. Yeah, buddy. And I think he punks me again here, doesn't he?
Yeah, this is the too soon. And I want to note that one of the ways he's doing this, the way he's accelerating you on the 2 and making the 2 early is by bringing the hand down.
Yeah.
All leaders take note. This is what you do to your tall follows on everyone.
It was a very gentle yank.
Very gentle yank.
But you can see how it's straight down, down, because that's all you need to do to accelerate someone is to change the height of the handhold if there's tension in it. If he had gone both down the slot and down at the same time, it would have felt really violent to you.
Yep. And I reacted with rotation onto that foot, not a straight drive forward, which made it a lot easier. It's almost like he was beginning a hammerlock lead of like down rotation.
Oh yeah, that's exactly.
It felt like a rushed hammerlock. And then also funny to note, very off topic, but both times he does this joke, he does it facing the boys.
Yep.
Oh my God! Look at
validation from their reaction.
Look at Ryan.
He's just so pleased.
I know. So good.
He's purely doing that just for the lead. And then you see Robert in the video. You can hear Robert.
Yep. Yeah, Robert loses it.
Yep.
And then I'm just like laughing. I was dying. I couldn't believe he got me again. He's so good.
Cassie, I think this is a question on what you were saying earlier. Erin said, so just straight down for acceleration.
Yeah, so a basic rule of thumb is that if you have tension, so like your anchored tension in the connection, all you have to do is change the height vertically, either up or down, to encourage your partner to close the distance. Because if you're both, let's make this really simple, if you're both upright with kind of fully extended arms, if someone were to bring this hand up or down, the other partner would have to respond by closing the distance. Otherwise, they would have to like bend over or like reach for the skies. Like, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So it's when a lead combines direction with an elevation, that's where it starts to feel violent, because you're getting twice the information, and it ends up feeling either like you're getting launched into the into space, or you're getting pile driven into the floor. And this is one of those things that, as a very tall follow, I'm hyper aware of, because just like a 1-inch dip in the hand on one, combined with the direction down the slot, to me, if I'm much taller than my leader in that whatever partnership that is, that feels like a very intense acceleration. So I often recommend leaders who often deal with follows who are taller than them, think of actually like lifting the handhold like a centimeter on one as you're driving backwards, and then that helps neutralize the height disparity between a shorter leader and a taller follower, so that way the follow only gets the information to go down the slot. This is totally going to be one of the thumbnails on the YouTube video this week, because it makes no sense. This is my masterpiece.
This is like some, like, it just reminds me of like football strategy or something.
I know, right?
This is
I feel like
I
need to highlight Mick Benry's gorgeous belly laugh right here. So hopefully that answered your question. I can't see the chat to know if that was helpful or not.
Yeah, he said got it.
Okay, sweet. Bye bye 5 million arrows.
Love it. Funny. Oh my god. Ugh. Oh my god. What are we even doing? I don't even. There's times where I'm like, why did I? Okay. Okay, I came out of that well.
Yeah.
Put a little hip back there.
You did it again. Joker.
You just see me, I'm like, what? Robert
Grace is loving it.
So funny. Oh my god, Robert. So good. Look at him. Oh my god. And Kyle's so proud of himself. Here's another time. Guess who didn't take up all her slot? Me. Yeah. I didn't go back.
You're ending up very inward towards him.
We fix it because we then kind of go into compression, and then we like, but in that moment, I didn't take up space, and I didn't tell him before I was going to do it. That's not bad. I like to think that I'm a little bit better with this now, because I'm like so hyper aware of this issue. But again, it's my same freaking issue where I'm like, there's musicality. I'm gonna do the thing. Whoops.
Yeah, and it looks like your foot again is landing past your body, so that's why you're getting that angle towards him with the upper body.
Yep, I did not make the decision in time to either communicate it and not move, being at like that middle point and then having him move, or actually going all the way. Like I should have just continued. I could have done the same. I could have hit the same musical things.
Yeah.
Just through taking up or like while taking up all my space. So like shifting that priority of obeying my rule my role as a follow of going back. Fail. Fine. I don't even know what else. Oh yeah. I also like really obscure things. In this song, there's a little like bink, 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 like in the deep background of this song. And I'm like, I'm gonna hit that when other people are probably like, what? Or I don't hear it.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Same.
So.
Stupid. So stupid. It's fine. He adapted.
Also, I love how you said the deep background.
Like it's not even just
fifth
normal.
dimension.
Yeah, the fifth dimension background.
Stupid. That's also my problem with that also just comes from being a musician. I'm going to hear the other and like be able to isolate the different instruments or the different little things.
Yeah.
I don't just hear all of it. I hear it as pieces because I'm used to listening to a symphony and like dealing with where I fit in with my own violin.
Yeah.
That's normal.
I know what you mean. I'm the same way. I have a lot, like really extensive music background as well.
Yeah. It's a blessing and a curse.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine's not extensive as either of yours because I know about both of your backgrounds, but I have a similar issue because I did play an instrument and study music back in the day.
Hard.
It just makes it a totally different ball game.
Yeah.
It just changes. It's a different perspective to see this dance through. I'm honestly surprised that more musicians don't find this dance just because of the freedom of expression that we have over so many other dances. I feel like we just kind of move through.
Yeah, I actually had a quick question on that for you. Because it looks like at the very end of that like ronde that you're doing, like there's a catch. So I was wondering if that was because you continued when you felt that he was kind of rotating the other way.
I mean, I went until I felt something stop. Like you can see he's giving me space all the way until, and then he just goes, okay, no, we're going to go back the other way. But I didn't actually stop short there. I went all the way, like it's rotational energy, rotational space to fill. Plus it also helps that I knew we were going to be going back because he still had my left hand. If he didn't have that, then that left side would have gone with me and it probably would have become a full rotation of some kind. But here I'm allowing that right shoulder and the left foot to go back or like to continue rotating and filling space, but still paying attention to the fact that this is still held over here. So I know that I'm going to hit a wall over here or like fill all the way until that point before it goes back. So like those are easier places to kind of feel out completing a follow until directed otherwise. It would have been a totally different thing if he had let go of that left hand because my left shoulder would have gone with it. So I released that ankle too early. That's fine. It's a different issue. Whatever. And then I know that some of this gets a little bit messy technique-wise because we're just kind of jamming and we have a ton of connection in this stuff. This whole part felt a little more raw. Like from here on out feels more raw and less like pretty and perfect. Like we have so much connection there and then he launches me at people. I was like, this is how I die.
Yeah, because like right here, you're really pushing into your left foot to kind of decelerate yourself. And he's like, I'm going to use that.
launched. He had such a wide face. My hips were all the way back. Literally launches me and then catches me. And I literally in that moment was like, this is how I die, legit.
I can see that on your face. You're like, I don't know.
Yeah. It's amazing. Like, that's one of those moments where I'm like, I don't even know how that happened. It was very cool in person, though. I was like, all right, boy.
Yeah.
That was a fun one to live through. Heart's racing and shit. So funny.
I don't know about other people. Whenever I'm sitting on the floor in the front row, I'm like, okay, it is partly my responsibility for the safety of whoever's dancing to like move or adapt or react. They're coming at me like I'm ready to catch someone. I'm ready to get out of the way.
Yeah.
He's already like almost at people. Like, I remember I was literally inches away from somebody with my feet.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was so tight. I was eyeballing somebody like, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, and this is kind of one of the moments that I like to call kind of like recovery moments, where you kind of get pulled out of your own control and then, you immediately bring it right in.
It's
and so it's a beautiful way to recover.
This was just trust.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it has to be.
Yeah, and it's also, you're like very much pitching forward right here in this moment to like decelerate yourself as you come out of that turn.
No, and then also like everything has to come forward because he's counterbalancing me in order to stop me.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wait, stop. So I actually love that when I'm back there, I have my hips pulled away from my rib cage and my shoulders.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah, right here.
Yeah.
So good.
Great.
I want to draw lots of lines. So it's got like
That's another one. So like when I was talking
lovely.
like being malleable to your leaders and like what's your commonality when you're dancing with different people, like there's certain things that like certain positions that I like, or relationships between my upper body and my lower body that express like that hyper femininity, like that position that I'm in of like the rib cage to the hip thing, like that's something that will be consistent with me between all the leaders when I'm back in a pocket like that. Yeah. So it's like a really subtle, like feminine, very me moment while I'm there.
Yeah.
God. And then he's like, I'm gonna not kill her. Okay.
Igor says that smile on Kyle.
He
knows he's doing something.
He's so proud of himself.
Yep.
Asshole. And I'm just like, I'm alive.
I didn't die. That's all I care about.
Jesus.
Mostly alive.
The adrenaline rush in that moment was really something. Took me a little while. God. Ooh, came out of that ankle early. That's fine. Ooh, I just want to rip everything apart, all the other shit, but that's cool.
Do you want to explain quickly what you mean when you're saying that you're coming out of the ankle early?
Oh, anytime my leg that I'm pushing off of is slightly bent, it's because I didn't finish through an ankle.
Gotcha.
So right here.
Yeah, like it's close.
So close.
All the way. Yeah, it's just releasing the ankle too early. Yeah, right there. Just a second too early. Stupid. I know better.
See, this is one of those instances where like it looks like Kyle, like yes, he's doing a hitch here, but he's very much driving his weight down the slot through his hitch, which looks like it's accelerating you just slightly.
All of this had so much energy, because also he gets very excited when he does something. And we had just done that moment where he tries to kill me. So he was excited. So our connection had a ton more energy to it than like literally from when he like sends me forward till like this whole next chunk. It was so much more intense. So like a lot of my technique for the next like phrase is not pretty, because I'm just like, we're going.
Just keep dancing. Just keep dancing.
It's just a difference in focus. Like, okay, we're going to be a little more raw. We're not going to be as precise. We're just like jamming at like a crazy, like a whole bunch of the positions I hit during these checks were so fast and so highly energized, like in our frame. So the positions we're moving in are not always the greatest, which I'm not happy about, but I understand completely why they happen.
Yeah. And musically, like phrasing wise, it's like you're ramping up to the climax of your performance together. And and like that energy change is like really important musically.
Yes. And even if we passed through some awkward moments, we still like fixed it. I still came out of that awkward moment with like a little girly thing and a 1. So I fixed it. Like I resolved it at least. I didn't let it stay shitty forever. This part is my favorite thing of the whole thing, because he loves to hit that like through, and then I'm obsessed with hitting the woo, and there was no way I was going to miss it.
You even got Betty Boop lips. So good.
There was no fucking way I was missing that. That dick. He was not going to take that from me.
You hit it.
But that, and his favorite part of the whole song is that like through part. So he got to hit his thing, and then I hit my thing. Look at his happy, joyful face.
He's so excited.
That face.
And I love it in the video. You hear Sarah like, yeah. Yeah, it's so funny.
I haven't noticed his tongue in this moment before now. It's like,
oh my God.
Suddenly changed thinking face.
That's amazing. It's the Jordan tongue. Oh yeah, this is just like chill.
Yeah, this is a fun angle forward.
Celebration.
Yeah.
So funny. Just rocking. His smile is so infectious. I just love him.
Yeah.
Like happy that things are going well. It's super
I've framed through this one before, but I hadn't noticed how like really happy you both are.
Yeah.
Well, we both, like, our partnership was great in the sense that we both got to hit the things we wanted to hit, and it was perfect. So funny. Like we were just both, this was one of the few dances that I've had where I'm really like just having a fucking good time. And like this whole second dance, like literally since he started messing with me with the too soon thing, this entire thing felt like our late night dances of just me and Kyle fucking around together. Like this is our friendship. And our relationship. And that's when things like, got messy, but so in sync.
Yeah. And it feels a lot more organic too.
Yeah, and the first dance wasn't organic. It was very like calculated. He's really taking care of everything. And here we were just kind of reacting. It's really hard for me to like relinquish technique and let myself get messy. But the dance was so much better when I did. I should be a hot mess a lot more. Yeah. Like it was so much easier to go and really go till all those true connections and actually go as far as he was sending me everywhere. Like, so much easier when I was just like having a great fucking time with
Yeah,
him.
not thinking about it as much.
That whole bullshit part was so funny. I was like, I'm going to be a thug. No one thinks I'm a thug, but I'm going to pretend for like 1 second. And I'm pretty sure that was ending. Oh my gosh. Yeah. It was
All
fun.
right.
It was really fun. He's gonna smile. And then, oh my gosh, we both have like this sheepish thing where we're like, okay, thanks, bye. Yeah. Every time.
He's backing up.
Victory retreat. All right. Are there any things you want me to go back to before I stop sharing my screen?
I'm good.
That's pretty much
All right.
everything. That was really entertaining to go through at that level.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was so much fun. Does anybody in the Peanut Gallery have any questions as we wrap up this evening?
Which has gone way later than normal.
Yes.
Oh shit.
Thanks for sticking with us.
No, thank you for being willing to do this at such a
Yeah.
high level with us. So we really appreciate it and really enjoyed it.
That you want to hear this.
Like, I'm smiling so much, like my cheek muscles are getting a little twitchy. Like, that's the state I'm in right now. Because this is my jam.
You guys, because this is how I watch my own videos. I'm my own harshest critic. Like I get uncomfortable when people like I still feel like a little novice girl who met everybody. So like especially like my first video that I ever got to see was Kyle and Sarah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and then I'm dancing with Kyle and he's such an important person in my life. And it like trips me out. Like I don't feel like I feel like the luckiest little dancer. I don't feel like I've deserved it. So like love. But yeah, I'm very grateful. I don't feel like a champion. I feel like everyone's going to realize that I'm still a novice. I feel like I'm just happy to be here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like once you get to those levels, then you start second guessing yourself and you're like, no, I know what I'm doing, but do I?
Yeah, that's why I always go back to that. Like, if you have imposter syndrome, like the more you know, the more you understand you have yet to learn. And really, imposter syndrome in those instances is a sign of how much you do know.
Yeah.
Because you have to be really intelligent and know a lot to understand how much you have left to learn.
It's overwhelming sometimes, though.
Yeah.
It's
yes.
super overwhelming. Like I just feel like I've worked harder since I started Dancing Champions than I ever worked getting up to there. Even though I know I worked myself into the ground, I just still feel like I know nothing.
Yeah.
I know that I don't, but I mean I know things, but
yeah. Exactly.
But yeah, I feel ya.
Kate had a question in the comments. She says, a little off topic, but what do you do to keep being differently creative? She's in a creative rut.
I mean, there's a lot of different things that like I know people do in general. Like, you know, like there's tons of promotion for cross training, different dance styles, and all of that is great. I personally, because I also have a full-time job, and when we're not in shutdown, I run a dance studio. Like, I don't really have freedom to go take all of these cross-training classes. I do what I can, but like my source of inspiration is usually like music. Like I'm a musician, I'm a DJ. Like all of my perspectives comes from being so grounded in what I'm hearing. Anytime I'm struggling musically, like maybe I've been focused too much on some technique aspect, I'm obsessing over my big toe too much, who knows. I just have to put on music and get lost in it. Like that's literally it. I just have to move to something. It literally can't matter what style of contemporary or modern or ballet or West Coast or whatever fucking dance you want to do. Like I I don't care. Like, if we weren't in a shutdown, I would be like, go to a club, have a drink, and just move your body. Like, that's what I did for years. Like, I was a little club rat and a musician.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to feel music course through my body and let myself move.
Yeah.
So that's like the basis of my musicality. Bringing that together with my embracing the fact that I just want to be like Jessica Rabbit. Then that's what you get. So I try not to worry about it too much. Like, everybody gets in creative ruts, but like, end of the day, we do this to music that we love. How do you want to move something? I literally don't care what it is, to the music that you love.
Yeah. That's great. Cassie, do you want to answer that too?
Yeah, I've got a few ideas. So like one that's very specifically dance related is to just push yourself outside of your comfort zone. Try a song that maybe you don't like.
Preach.
And try to find something in it you do. And also to like limit what parts of your body you can use to express yourself. So like if you always use your hips, or if you always use your arms, maybe like take that out of the equation for a while and try using something you don't use. And then just like in a broader sense in life, to just try something you haven't tried before, like try an art form you've never done, like learn how to draw or try to pick up an instrument, or maybe don't even just try to like actually do it, but just like listen to a YouTube video about it, like expand your knowledge base. Because usually creative burnout comes from your creative well being dry. So like you need to refill it with stuff. So that's like taking yourself, Julia Cameron, who wrote The Artist's Way, she talks about taking yourself on artist dates, and like you can't leave your home at this point in time to do that, but you can do versions of that on the internet. Like take yourself on a date and explore your curiosity.
Love that.
Yeah. So that's my 2 cents. Side note, like my other business is Accountability Muse. It's coaching for creatives who are like chronic procrastinators, to help them actually do the shit that they want to do that they keep not doing. So that's my other spiel. So yeah.
Have you read The Creative Habit?
Is that by that dancer choreographer? What's her name?
Lila Tharp.
Yeah, I listened to the audiobook actually. Yeah.
So freaking good. I actually got this book back when I was in architecture, way before dancing. Just because it's like, there's sometimes when I'm feeling in a creative rut, it reminds me of when I have a project from a client and you have to design something and you're sitting in front of that like blank white sheet and you're like, shit, I have to create something from nothing. Screw you guys. And like this book helped me. And then years later, I was like, oh, like I found this book and I'm like, oh, I'm a dancer now. It's a dance book. But about like, how do you get yourself, like, what are the habits that you can establish in your everyday life that help you get into a creative mindset? And I know not everybody is like super habit or ritual driven, but for those of us who are, that can be a major key to getting out of creative ruts, creative blank spaces. Yeah. Anyway,
that's an excellent book. And I have kind of like so many book recommendations in that realm. So if people are interested in like my coaching business or whatnot, just feel free to direct message me on Facebook and I will hook you up with book recommendations or other kind of stuff. I wanted to we got another comment saying that pole dancing is great for strength and also to find that creativity and pushing yourself. And this person has loved it. So yeah, that's one of those things. Like if I weren't genetically hypermobile and would dislocate everything, by supporting myself
Yeah.
on a pole. I would totally want to try pole dancing, but I think I would crumple.
Yeah.
Mm.
Um,
Did you want to answer that question, Alicia, about the creativity?
So I think I'm a little bit different in the way that I approach that, because I feel like a lot of the times that I feel like I'm in a creative rut, it's because I'm forgetting the different things that I can do. And so what I do is, like, I have this list compiled of different stylings and stuff that I can do, that I, frequently do. And so when I am feeling like I'm creative or something, I'll go put on like a song that I really enjoy, and I'll take maybe 2 or 3 of those, stylings from my list, and I'll just try to challenge myself to do those 3 things to the song and find the like musical points and how to like syncopate that, and just that's the way I do things.
That's awesome. It gives you a starting place to go from.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
a great idea.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Another fun thing is imitating people. It's really fun to find a video of somebody who moves very differently from you and then trying to move like them, just to make your body move in a way that maybe you haven't ever done before.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love doing that. Trying to learn somebody else's sugar push.
Yes. Actually, that's an excellent segue for our episode next week. We're going to be... I'm sorry. I have become that person. But anyways, next week, our topic is Whip It Good. Da-na-na-na-na. You must whip it. We're going to be talking about all the different varying whips and whip techniques. And like,
I have a whip!
Because everybody has their own whip. And some are like, my whip is the only way.
Yeah.
We tend to be like,
there's a lot of different
all these whips are tools.
Yep.
Which whip do I want, when, and why?
Yep.
I love whips.
That's a tongue twister.
I recently found out that I swivel my whip, apparently. So my whip is very old school Lindy whip.
Yeah. You swivel your two. Yep.
Didn't know that until recently.
Who pointed it out to you?
No idea why I do that. I don't even know Lindy. No idea where I got this from. Chuck, I was at a New Year's event, and Chuck Brown was dancing with me, and he was like, oh my God, I'm obsessed with your whip. And I was like, why? It's just a whip. And he was like, you don't understand. No one, like, this is the most old school Lindy whip with like energy and intensity and swivel that I felt in forever. And I was like, cool beans. I'm just doing a basic whip. And he was like, and then he whipped me for like 30 minutes. He took me to the side, and he like literally was just fucking with what he could do with my whip for like 30 minutes. I feel very weird about this. And then I was practicing with someone else recently, and I just did a basic whip, and they got like this shit-eating grin on their face, and they were like, oh my God, your whip. And I'm like, son of a bitch. I'm just doing a basic whip. My basic has a delay to then, oh my God.
Yeah. It's a delayed weight transfer onto the 2 with some rotation to the left from the follow. And what that does is it accelerates into the 3, but it also grounds the 3. So it kind of takes out some of the momentum that's traveling the follow down line, and it creates a much more grounded 3 and 4 redirect. That's just like the functional analysis. Besides like visually, it's gorgeous. I love it when it follows style their whips that way.
Not even styling to me though. That to me is like, that's how I dance my basic. Like, it gives me a really sharp 2. It powers me with tons of energy into my 4. Like I make a leader physically stop me and redirect me. Yeah. Like, I'm not just going to stop myself. Like, I pull over leaders. Like, if leaders who haven't danced with me before, they lead me in a whip, they're like all the time. And I'm like, sorry.
Oh geez. Alicia and I were once talking about how to like go into an outside turn out of a whip. And she was like, yeah, I step forward onto my 5 and then turn. And I'm like, wait, you can step forward? Because like I'm so tall, and even if I like really completely neutralize my own momentum into my 3 and 4, most leaders don't know how to counter me at all. So they end up kind of like closing into me and falling into me, and then they go around and past me for the 5, and I'm like, I want to go that way.
This is no longer what you wanted this to be.
So funny, because like if any leader complains about me being heavy, I'm like, no, I'm light as fuck. Because if they're about to step backwards into someone and I just choose not to move to save their life, they often ricochet back at me because I'm so grounded.
I love that. You just stay that way. Don't ever change, Cassie. Never change.
Great.
Yeah. All right. Any last minute questions before we call it a night? Thank you, everyone, for staying with us.
Yeah, this has been an especially long episode, but I think we knew it was going to be that way. So
yeah, I joked about it being 2 hours last week. I called it. I win the award that
see, you
not
joked
a
about
thing.
it. But I was like, no, that's actually going to happen.
Shit.
No, like this is. I wanted this. I'm on cloud 9 right now, so like this is great.
This is great.
Yeah. So everybody, snaps for Larisa. Thank you so much for joining us.
Wait, where's this mic?
Yes.
How can I make the snap?
Oh, good.
Oh my god.
All right, everybody, we will be the recording of this, if I can edit it on the normal schedule, will be up Sunday at noon Pacific, and otherwise Alicia and I will be back with Whip It Good next Thursday. And then on June 1st we'll be announcing our class for training your eye. So cool.
Oh, I'm so excited you're doing that. Sorry.
Yay, thank you. No, thank you. That like
I love that.
We'll take the endorsement.
Yeah.
We have no shame in that.
I think it's so great. Like, people don't really know how to analyze and watch stuff. Like, when I saw that you guys were analyzing like this in depth, like, that's really how you can learn instead of just kind of watching videos for entertainment. Like, no, it's work to watch videos. Like, but you have to know what to look for. So I love that you're doing this. I think it's so fucking great. All right, this has been real, peeps.
Yeah, thank you so much. This has been amazing.
No, this was my pleasure. Thank you for having me and giving a shit about my opinions and my dancing. Thank you. For real. Mwah. You did not have to do this with me, so I really appreciate that you care.
Yeah,
of course we do.
On the dance floor.
Oh man.
I mean, it's only natural that my dogs would also, or my animals would also have eating disorders. It's dark jokes.
Yeah.
You like don't know what to say.
We need a
I don't. Well, actually, I'm gonna message you something later.
Yes. I'm super open about my like rehab that I'm in right now. So it's very funny for me to like make eating disorder jokes. And then people are always like, do I laugh? What do I say?
Well, like I didn't know that like, because now I know that you're open about it. So that's cool. But
I'm
like
super open about it.
That's cool. Like it meant, I know it meant so much to me when you shared that first post on Facebook. That was incredible. Thank you so much for being transparent about that. Like,
I don't feel like it's hard. A transparent thing in our dance.
No, the like the rampant fat phobia and like really like health damaging diet culture stuff in our community is awful.
It is. Yeah. It's awful.
Yeah.
It's the worst. People come up and make comments. People feel that because you're a dancer and our body is on display and critique for dancing, that feels that for some reason people think they have the right to also judge the body itself, which is not the case.
Yep.
And I'm sure a lot of us get either like you get sexual harassment kind of stuff, you get super like inappropriate, triggering comments about being too thin, being overweight, not being in shape, being too in shape. Like people will literally criticize anything.
Yeah.
And it's super unavoidable because dancing is literally using our body as our instrument.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really hard to shut down. Awful. It's fucking awful.
Yep.
Yeah. And I don't feel like anybody talks about it. I don't feel like there's been so much discussion about sexual harassment and all of, and the assault and whatever in this community, but there's been no discussion about like the alcohol in our community. There's been no discussion about eating disorder triggering society that we have, like all that.
Yeah. If you ever want to come back for like a spotlight episode on like those kind of topics, I'm game.
I am too. Like no one's talked about it yet, and it's something that I feel very passionate about. I've been
same.
Out of eating disorder recovery for officially 20 years now. And I checked myself back into a rehab a couple months ago, right before everything shut down. I'm fucking sick and tired of being sick with it, and all the health problems and everything that goes along with being so sick for so often, or so long. So yes, people don't talk about this shit. So I made that post, and a whole bunch of people reached out to me and were talking to me about it. Like everybody experiences, especially like an eating disorder thing, everybody experiences it in isolation. Like the disease itself is an isolating thing. Yeah. It thrives in being alone. We need to talk about this as a community. Yep. We should talk about this.
Yep. 100% agree.
Yeah.
Anyways. I am definitely right there with you. I am a waist, and everything else is extremely small on me. And I wear crop tops, and so some guys, now that I'm single, who don't know me, who are older than me, think that it's okay to touch me in certain places because my body is more visible. But I'm wearing that because I'm comfortable in my own skin, but you're not allowed to touch me.
Yes.
And so, and then when you posted about the eating disorder, like I've been made fun of my entire life for people thinking that I was bulimic or anorexic when I was born 2 months premature. And so I didn't make myself look this thin. And I have like my own like body dysmorphia about it because I'm so thin and I have such a small chest. So when I see girls who are younger than me or older than me who have a bigger chest, it makes me very uncomfortable because society has made it to be you are a woman if you have big breasts. And so it's really hard some days to go into a building or even leave my house and like not let that bother me because I know that doesn't define who I am. And so I really like it when people, women especially, like talk about those things because you're right, no one really talks about it. And it does bother me a lot too, especially here in Seattle. Everyone's so introverted. I definitely feel that as a massive passion of mine as well.
Oh, that's really hard. I'm sorry you are going through that or have been going through that.
And I'm sorry people treat you so poorly in the community. Like, I wish people understood boundaries better, because just because you can connect with someone on the dance floor doesn't mean your body is available the rest of the time. So,
it's definitely only happened at conventions, at the local like scenes. Everyone treats people like really respectfully. It's only ever been when I've gone to a convention and I've been in the room like late night dancing with friends and they see me dancing a certain way with them, but I know them, so I'm gonna like be goofy with them, but I don't want to do that with somebody who I don't know because that'd be really uncomfortable. So my local scene is great, but it's just conventions a couple times have happened where guys are like, oh, tiny girl, and I've been hit on really grossly like several times. And I'm just like, what is happening right now? But it's, the way that they see me dressed, they think that's an invitation. But I'm like, that is so not an invitation. I'm allowed to dress how I want to dress.
You are.
Amen.
Ugh, yeah. That's unfortunately common. And then the better of a dancer you get, the more that is going to increase, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That just gets worse and worse. Our community sucks in that sense. Yeah, there's not really, it's really hard to try to fix that. There has to be a community effort.
Yep.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing that with us, though.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. I'm like Larisa, I'm very open about those things. People who know me, like, I talk about everything and nothing bothers me. So I always feel like it's more important to voice something. So if someone else doesn't feel like they have that voice, can like stand up and say it.
Agreed.
And can I ask how you pronounce your name? Because it's a spelling I'm unfamiliar with.
Yes. So my name is Krisha. So it's kind of like Trisha. I have my camera off because I'm just like in pajamas.
No worries.
But yeah, so it's pronounced Krisha. So it's like Trisha, but with a K is how I've always helped people with their mindsets to figure it out.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen you at events. Girl, you're really cute.
Oh, thank you.
All right. You got work to do. We've been keeping you too long.
It's fine. I'm really glad that we just had that little conversation.
Yeah.
It makes me really happy.
But yeah, we should have an episode just about that
Yeah.
in the future.
Yeah.
Let me know.
Cool. We'll do.
Yeah.
Cool. And thank you again. Mwah. Love you so much.
Thank you.
Guys, this was awesome.
Yeah.
Needed this. Well, take care, okay?
Will do. You too.
Everybody, wash your hands.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
All right. Well, have a good night, guys.
Yeah.
Night.
Bye.
Jinx really likes wine. She, I usually don't give it to her on purpose, but like at like DJ booths and stuff, because I always have wine, she just sits on my lap while I DJ like all the time. So I just see her little head like sneaking over into my glass and like all the time.
We've been joking that like Alicia and I are the talk show hosts, and Emma is the like the comedian that segues things.
Oh my
God.
Well, just because I'm the reason we talk about things like cat vomit and I don't know, just all the bad things.
And rouging your knees.
Happen. I'm just here when it's.
We need another installment of History of Dress.
Okay, what are we talking about this time?
We should do something not 20s.
How did that even come up last time?
Because all that jazz. We were singing all that jazz.
Right.
And I sung the line, Rouge Your Knees. And I'm like, what is that? And Emma's like, I have the answer.
Me.
That was amazing. I loved that whole piece. That was the best.
Welcome to Granny's Antique Museum. I can tell you about many old things.
Amazing.
Beautiful.
You're welcome, and I'm sorry.
No,
Not
never apologize. That is fantastic.
Oh, God.
Oh, geez.
Yes.
More wine, mommy.
And he'll just be like, hi, Jinx. And she'll get all excited and be like, what?
Oh.
Is that more growling?
I'm also like really annoying her right now because I'm like playing her ears and I'm like, let me touch the paws. It's really annoyed, but she's not moving. She's still sitting on me, so I'm not annoying her that.
We've like regressed back to fall up here in the Pacific Northwest, and it's weird.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened. Like, it was getting really nice out, and then it's been pouring today.
Yep.
It's just scaring everyone away who moved because they were like, I hear it's really nice in the spring in Portland. I can make it through the winter if by March or April it's nice. Like, no, not happening.
I've never heard that. I've just heard that it's rainy, and I've never been there when it's not rainy.
No.
I don't really believe you at all.
I wish you could train cats. And then every once in a while, I come across a video on YouTube where like someone has trained a cat to ring a bell
Right.
and stuff like that. And I'm like, how? No one should have that kind of patience. Are you an alien?
Yeah, my cat doesn't care at all. She's just like, no, you're stupid. She has a very big attitude and personality, and she has opinions and will tell you. It's pretty great.
Kayla always has like a list of demands, basically. And it's always very clear what's on the list at any given moment. It's like, oh, you want me to move into this position on the sofa so you can sit this way. That kind of stuff. She'll like sit and stare at you, just like,
So what you're
until
saying
you
is
adjust so she can
has
snuggle
trained
you.
you.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's
Oh,
accurate.
that's so good. Katie, like, she'll just come over and just wherever you are, she'll be like, I'm gonna sit here now.
Like, oh, I have to interview someone. This feels
Yeah.
awkward. I now know what that feeling feels like.
Sorry.
I just want to take a second to acknowledge Phoenix's excellent background. Like, well done, sir.
See. Where is it?
Maybe
Oh.
unmute yourself and speak a few words so that way it's in the recording as well.
A few words that are now in the recording as well.
So,
Mwah.
Yes, this is my background. I love it, and it is me.
Excellent.
Game music, all mine.
You should have you should like have a button where you suddenly catch fire. It seems because you're a phoenix. And that could be how you check out of
Please
your
hold.
Zoom meetings. You catch fire and then you disappear.
oh yes.
Oh my
I'm
God.
so into that. Oh my god.
So, oh my God, Phoenix.
I know, I just saw
You
that.
made it happen. Yes.
Set me on fire.
Speak.
Hell.
Speak so the recording sees you.
Speak, I can be seen. I am now on fire.
No,
Carrying fire. I'm a firebender.
no, you have
Yes.
to do the fire Elmo. Thank you. That's what I needed.
Mhm.
That's amazing.
More.
Give you some screen time.
I have a screenshot. So I have a whole folder on my phone that's just screenshots and video clips of like people being ridiculous in the background, or every time there's a picture with everybody like turned in and retarded. I have little film clips of people being dropped in Jack and Jill's. It's a fantastic collection.
It's amazing.
Yeah. It makes me so happy. Whenever I feel crappy about myself, I just watch some of my friends getting dropped. They all know I have it, so it's fine.
Amazing.
Or if anybody's ego gets too big, I'm like, remember this? I don't want to do it.
Because like if we were doing this in person, it'd be like, okay, we're putting on music now.
Dude, there's so much good music. Like, there's new music,
Yeah.
and I can't play it for anyone.
Oh,
I'm losing my mind.
you'd like a support group for DJs during this time. I
Oh.
want to play this song,
I
please. Emma's losing it. Hello,
Laugh.
Miss Larisa Tingle, and the song I want to play is.
I have DJ withdrawals. No joke, guys.
I believe it.
And have him punch me in the face.
What's wrong with you?
So much. What's just wrong with me? Don't say that out loud.
Did you hear the story of me standing in for Robert at dress rehearsal?
No.
So it was Robert's death scene. That was just so good. But I like stood in for Robert with Brad and Deborah for that at dress rehearsal.
Oh no.
And of course Brad tried to resuscitate me and he like slammed his face against mine. He's like, "Oh my God, I'm sorry." And I'm like, I know who I'm working with. I was somehow emotionally prepared.
Oh. Oh my God.
And because at that point, like, I think Deborah had already died because like Brad had said he doesn't believe in fairies and she just like conked out. And so I'm like choking because like they took the clock or whatever. And then they leave and I'm like crawling across the dance floor to Deborah, having just been slam kissed by Brad. And then I'm like, "Deborah, wake up." And then like encouraging the audience that isn't there because it's a dress rehearsal to like start clapping and saying they believe in Deborah.
Oh.
And then she comes back to life and then I die. And then Deborah takes me up into her arms and like screams like Kirk into the sky, "Damn you!"
Holy shit.
I love that story.
The whole time I'm like, this is my life now. And it's my fault.
Oh, how did I get here? Why am I not upset about it?
That is such a unique experience, Cassie.
You think? The other thing that happened was like Maxime was nervous about the lyrics for Be Our Guest, so he like absconded with me to like the service hallway in the back, and I was just singing my lyrics to Be Our Guest with Maxime, coaching him on it. Weird weekend.
By yourself in the hallway.
Also, appreciation for the word absconded. Good job. Love.
Thank you.
And
I am. They do
that
pay
word.
me for the words.
Excellent casting choice, by the way.
Thank you.
Oh my God.
Yeah, casting is the hardest part of Rose City. And because of pandemic, I didn't really get a vacation. I just got to hole up, so it's like, oh no, it begins again. What?
Do we know what they're doing for next year?
Yeah, it hasn't been announced yet. So I am going to share it with you, Larisa, privately in the chat.
Oh.
Sorry. Bobak would,
He would kill you.
Yeah.
he can't kill me because he needs me, but
You would just very deeply think about it.
You can find ways.
he would be like, "I'm so mad at you, but I can't do anything about it."
Tiny fury. Tiny anger.
Like his beard just grows the angrier he gets.
Oh man.
Oh god, so good.
Yeah.
I just did you see what I texted you? Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm gonna also tell you it's gonna be like.
That's fantastic. I support this.
Oh.
Oh my God. I have so many opinions about this. Oh my
All
God.
right, I just gave you the like quick rundown of what the story is.
And like three of us
I
are
love
like,
it so much. Oh. Oh. So hard not to say anything.
I know, right? And there's another layer to it.
It's
Oh.
good.
It's good. Alicia is like my sanity person to talk to about it because like talking about it with Bobak and Trudy can get a little stressful. 'Cause
Oh,
I'm
I
like,
believe
A little like
it's real.
talking about Baba and Trudy.
It's just like, so Alicia is like my creative therapist for it. I'm
Yeah.
just like,
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's a great. Oh, I can't wait for that.
Oh,
You have me
let's
if you need me in it.
Excellent. So this layer might be okay to share because it's not theme involved.
Okay.
Oh, praise God.
Okay, but like for those of you that are here, lips sealed, be tortured for the next year.
So,
So, all right.
Don't leave us hanging.
So the staff characters are like they're playing people who are in like novice intermediate level.
Oh God.
Yeah. And they have to pose as champions to achieve their goal.
I mean, that's
So
what I'm doing anyways. So
you'll have Brad playing a novice wannabe trying to pose as one of the other people on staff or who isn't present. So like you'll have Royston pretending he's a novice dancer imitating
God.
Jordan.
Oh, no.
So just these like layers of acting. I was inspired by Sunday when so many of the pros this year had to like leave early, so everybody else was doing stand-ins. Like Phoenix was you, Larisa. And like,
Yeah.
and at one point Chris was Tori, and it's just like it was great. I'm like, wait, this is genius in the making right here. Just having everybody.
box if you need it.
That'd be
I
great.
can be Jessica. I got that one. Who else? I can do a good Sarah. Oh, I can do Victoria Hanks Sugar Bush.
Ooh.
If that's useful at all.
No, man.
Okay.
Yeah, I just look forward to seeing them all imitate each other, especially like if I get two of them that have to like imitate the other and have a
Oh
scene
no.
together.
oh yes.
Oh my God, this is gonna be great.
Just like,
Genius.
because basically when people ask me, it's like, how do you write comedy? I'm like, well, A, comedy comes from conflict, so that's just good storytelling to begin with. And B, it's knowing who you're working with and trying to break them with said comedy.
Yes.
Like that one moment, one of my lines for Ben Morris last year was so good. He was like, oh, that's what I was going to say anyways.
Yes. Yes. Dude, people send me daddy stuff now. Thank you
I'm
What?
so sorry.
so much.
You like committed to that line. I wasn't expecting you to like go 110%, but you did.
That was my moment,
It
guys.
was so good.
I happened to die laughing when that part came out. I was like, that is the best thing of the whole day. That was great.
Yeah. People haven't let that go. I get for the a couple of events that happened afterwards that I went to, people would come up and like, you want to dance, daddy? And I'd be like,
Oh my God.
or
Now your nickname. You are now Daddy.
no, yeah, Forrest will never forget. Forrest and Brad, I think, will never let that die.
I don't think so.
Well, if anybody ever gives you a hard time for it, just remind them that I wrote that.
Oh my God.
100% scripted. I'm like, yep, doing it.
It was awesome.
And I did write in that everybody like has chills afterwards because like, oh, that was wrong. I loved it because you all pulled off that moment because like you committed to the line and then everybody was like, ugh.
I know. Did you see? I don't know if you were there in like rehearsals earlier, because like literally the whole weekend up to that point, Brad would pull me aside and be like, "We need to rehearse like our moment." Like And I'd be like, what are you talking about? And he's like, say the thing. Like, he made me call him daddy. Like,
Oh my god.
So, because I need an opus, you guys, and this is my one chance.
What's a what?
I need an opus. Like, I need to win something at the open, so I get one of those fucking statues.
Wow.
The trophies.
I need it.
Yeah.
Because if I don't win Sophisticated, the only way for me to get one is to go to Benji's studio and steal his. Like, yeah. He just has them out. And at one point, I was just like, thank you. And he was like, take it. I'm like, what?
He's like the Walt, what Walt Disney is to the Oscars, Benji is to the Open.
It fell apart, so the little diamond thing was just chilling next to it. And I was like, what if I just take this part? Like, that's fine. It's an excellent doorstop. And I'm like, wow, fuck you. Cool. Jesus.
Gosh.
He made this video that's what to do with all your opuses, and it's Benji like getting creative with like what to do with all these opuses that you have, like doorstop.
What a flex.
Using the diamond to, like pick your teeth and shit. Like,
I forget which actress it is, but she like keeps, I don't know how many Oscars she has, but she has at least one. She keeps one of them in her bathroom. So if people ever come over, they can have their own like acceptance speech moment after they've like done their business and washed up.
genius.
I love that.
If I ever get an opus, that's what I'm doing with it. That is brilliant. Songs, but
Jinx.
That was great.
did you hear the gun?
Jinx. Yes.
You heard that? Okay. So I have a piece of furniture on this side of the couch because my front door is over here. And so I have this thing where like you put your shoes in and whatever. And she had her little head like under it. So when I just went like
No.
Oh no.
I've done that with one of my cats once, playing with one of those like things on a ribbon on a stick kind of situation, and she got under the coffee table and I didn't really think about it, and I like flicked it up in the air and she just shot up right into the coffee table. It's like, oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's what Jinx just did. And then she growled because she hit her own head. So good.
Oh wow.
Oh my god, she's so pissy. It's amazing. My dog is PMSing. It's fun. Okay.
Man.
Well,
You
be
have a great night.
Adult.
What's that? None of us are that here.
Not now.
That's what happens when we hit leave meeting,
Yeah.
which is why we're all procrastinating on that.
Okay. This was awesome. I can't wait to see your whips one next week.
Yes.
It'll be fun.
Can I like join the
Fuck yeah.
Zoomy Zoom?
Fuck yeah.
I'll have to join future ones because I love this.
Oh, yay. Thank you so much. That means
thank
a
you.
lot.
You guys are awesome.
I'm gonna be like floating. I won't be able to be grounded for the next few days from that comment. I'll just be like hovering around my apartment, scaring my cats.
Your free leg, it'll be fine. Dance jokes. Okay.
Yay! And then she texted me frantically. She's like, "I'm so sorry. Is that okay?" And then I said, "I think I can swing that."
level of response.
I'm sorry, I just died a bit inside.
I have personally made so many lame dancer jokes where I'm like, I think I can do that, but I've like made it into something either like Seattle West Coasty or just West Coast in general. My friends are like, just stop. Like, I just can't.
Yeah, if you're allergic to puns, you should probably stay very far away from me.
God. Puns are life. Oh, it's so
I need
the
to see
best.
what more will happen.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, maybe someday, Rose City Swing 2030, Revenge of the Pun.
yes. That gets worse the longer I think about it.
Once I start thinking about all the stories to like throw the pros into, I'm just like, oh no, it won't stop. I can't sleep. The jokes keep coming.
So good. It's so brilliant.
The poor Jinx got sick. Didn't he eat like a whole box of chocolates?
Oh, this
Yeah.
fucking little bitch. Yes.
What?
Oh, fuck, man. It
Thing.
was Saturday. Someone gave me a box of chocolates, and it was beautiful, and I was very excited to eat it all later. And I had it up on a like out of the way, and I think one of the maids came in and moved it while she was cleaning. So it was within Jinx's reach. She got it. She ate the entire box of dark chocolate truffles.
Oh, God.
Plus some other stuff she got her little filthy paws on. And then I got up to the room, and she was like sausage dog, like and just like laying on the floor trying to walk. Like, it was fucking pathetic.
Oh, that's terrible.
It's
It was
terrible.
like, looking back, it was super comical. In the moment, I was freaking out, and I was supposed to compete in something. I was supposed to DJ something. I had to get everybody to cover all my stuff, and I found an emergency vet clinic that I Ubered to with her, and they induced vomiting. So she's only a 13-pound dog. She's not large. They said that she vomited more than they've ever seen at this vet's office. Like, she vomited, and they were like, wow, that's a lot. And then she did the same amount 2 more times. Yeah.
I love how last week we talked about cat vomit, and today we're talking about dog vomit. What
Dude.
will it be next week?
Okay.
Anyone
4
got a hamster?
different vet techs
Hamster.
came out to say they were impressed by how much my dog threw up. 4 people. Like, you're welcome? I don't know. It was weird.
Yeah.
Part of me was also proud as a former music. I was like, a girl.
Everybody's like, where's the leave button? Where is
I
it?
know.
Where is it?
That one.
I can't find it.
Somewhere.
Which